and Heels podcast. One handsome devil. Your host, Jack Purcell. Scissor me, daddy ass. Louis Perry, your co-host. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell. Faces and Heels podcast.
Welcome to the Faces and Heels podcast, where it's time for a full elimination. It's time for the Elimination Chamber with Louis Perry and myself, Jack Purcell. The full elimination comes later, Louis.
You got totally tongue-tied right there, didn't ya? You got totally, and...
Hey, I'm not your mama.
No, not at all. You got totally tongue-tied, and now Jack is frozen. Anyway, thank you. Jake the Snake Roberts. Yeah, too bad it's not Jack the Snake.
Nope, almost.
Yeah, and Eric Hunting's in the house. Happy Greg the Hammer Day, guys. Well, happy Greg the Hammer Day to you
right,
too,
Eric.
Eric. Yes. Jack, you're lousy at booking.
Lousy at booking. I'm a genius.
No, you're not. You're lousy. What happened to our guest tonight?
I guess Cupid-like duties came up for Love Doug tonight, so looks like we got to wait till March, guys.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Cupid is busy. There's stuff going on.
All right, but we still got a lot to talk about tonight. I mean, man, SmackDown, I thought it was great. I thought SmackDown, Friday Night SmackDown was awesome. And I also liked Eric comes in and says that Love Doug got a broken heart. I want to talk about last night's Monday Night Raw. I only saw maybe the first half of it. I was just watching it now before I ate dinner. The Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes segment, I want to talk about that for sure. I also want to talk a little bit about AEW. Mox, what are you doing? Is it Mox's fault? Is it the cameraman's fault? Whose fault is it? I mean, you think Mox would know better, but getting caught blading. What the heck? Come on, man. Be professional. I don't know. I mean, I'm flabbergasted by that. You know, Steven Regal rolling over in his grave. The guy's not even dead yet. What the hell? What the hell? You know, and then we got the indie scene to talk about. I mean, our good friend Jack Dalton broke his ankle. Jack, I know you're watching. I know you're listening. Speedy recovery, brother. I mean, we'll have you on the Angry Geeks. We're going to talk about collecting. I know Kindred Spirits, you and I both want to collect. Give me a call, brother. We're going to get you, I've been there with the broken ankle, pins and everything in mine, so you're going to be laid up for a while. Jack, let's get on with the show, man. What do you want to talk about? Where do you want to start? Lacey Evans, you're horrible. I mean,
well, I tell you, I like seeing Becca on SmackDown. That was nice.
Yeah, it was. But it was great to see Becca on SmackDown. But Lacey Evans can't even do the finisher right.
Yeah.
She's horrible. I said this a million times already. She's very unlikable. She's a great heel because she has natural heat. But she's been repackaged so many times, and it's not working with her. She's an unlikable person. She's just an unlikable talent. I mean, she's just she. What are you looking at me for? I'm very likable. Don't look at me like that.
You were talking about being tongue-tied. I was just giving you a nonverbal. That's all.
Oh, okay. Well, no, she is. She's a very unlikable person. Do
I
you
agree.
agree with me?
I
Do
agree.
our
I'm a
Eric,
cheerleader for
Eric
her
Hunting,
too.
do you agree? I mean, you and I had this verbal ping pong match before, and yes, Eric comes in and says a huge disconnect with her. I can't really explain it. She is just she's boring. And I mean, you had that first. I want to say hi to Axel. Hey, Axel, how you doing? I seen your comment. Um, the disconnect. I am not. I don't know, but yet they Triple H. I mean, he must see something in her, but I don't know what it is. They keep ramming her down our throat. They keep changing her gimmick every 3 months. It's just not working. Just stop already. And I mean, let her ride off into the sunset. Let her work the indies for a while. Let her send her to WoW. Send her somewhere because it ain't working. Okay? It's not, no matter what they do, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like she's a super talent, and I've been saying that she would become a champion. And it seemed like when they did that whole really lame angle with Ric Flair about him impregnating her to cover for her real pregnancy.
You said impregnating.
Yeah, that's a proper
Hey,
term.
I'm not your mama.
Things changed there. I don't know what it was, but after she came back, it just wasn't the same.
She wasn't even likable then.
Oh, I think she was, man. I really, you didn't
Oh,
like her when she was like
no,
the
no,
Varga girl. She
sir.
was great as the Varga girl.
No, no. Do you say Viagra girl? No,
Varga.
no, not at all. I mean, she always had a disconnect with the fans.
I don't
Just
know, man.
no.
I don't know. I don't know. I think that we I mean, I liked her more than you all along, but I saw
Yeah,
great things in her. I loved what was going on with her for quite
you
a
were talking about
while.
her boobs.
I think it was talking about her butt, but I mean, either way, I mean,
um,
she's got the physicality. I think she has a great deal of talent. Danny Moe was even talking about that when she was on and talking about her
yep.
WWE tryout, saying how hardworking she is. I mean, it's obvious that she should put some work in, but maybe her heart's not in it anymore, or I don't know. There is
Do
some
you think?
disconnect.
I would say that Lacey Evans is the Lex Luger of women.
Oh no.
She has, she has, like Eric, this right here. This new character has potential, but she's just not there. There you go, Lacey Evans. She has potential. She's just not there. She's the Lex Luger of the women's roster. There you go.
Yeah, I actually thought that Becca might get the upset on her, and they were just going to kind of like, as you said, watch her go into the sunset. I thought this was going to be Becca's debut, and they have the big upset.
Oh,
It'd be
like
a
the
one,
one,
two,
two, three
three
kid
kid
when
situation, right? Exactly,
yeah, that would have been awesome.
right.
Um,
That didn't happen.
no, no,
Instead,
it
we got a
did.
botched finish.
Yes, and the poor thing. The sad situation about it is, made Becca look bad. I mean,
Right.
because it did it totally to say it's totally bad. And Chris Hebert comes in and says, "Hi guys, snuck in to say hi. It's Valentine's Days won't be on long. Go Edge." And yeah, you'll be laughing Saturday night when Edge gets his ass whooped. Um, anyway, yeah,
Can you moonwalk?
yep. Um, so I don't know. Lacey Evans is just no. She
So even more interesting than Lacey Evans though is the damage control that was done for Cody Rhodes on Monday Night Raw, because Sami Zayn, as we've talked about for a long time, with the Bloodlines, the hottest thing going in WWE, and they're trying to keep the momentum going forever. But I thought the segment with Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn was done out of necessity for Cody to get over and get the rub from Sami Zayn, which is not the way they wanted to present that at all, but ultimately what they were trying to do.
yeah. It was very motivational, and they're doing all they can to get Cody over. But you got to think about it this way. I said this once before, and I'm going to continue saying it over and over and over again. Diehard wrestling fans will completely understand what I mean. Um, Newer people will be like, "Hey, what is he talking about?" But Eric will understand. Chris Hebert will understand. Wrestling fans are stupid. They will 1 minute boo somebody, this next second cheer somebody. But at the same time, we also know what we like. We also know what we don't like, and we never forget. We all remember how Cody was in AEW, and we ain't forgotten it. So in AEW, we all remember people throwing his t-shirts back, throwing the weightlifting belts back, and how the fans drove him out of there. We didn't forget that. They bring him into WWE, they pipe in the music of him coming back and all the stuff. Yeah, you see signs. Yeah, that's fine because WWE, the directors tell the cameraman, there's your sign, there's your sign, focus in on those signs. But you can listen. I mean, if you listen to it, you hear certain chants get blocked out here and there. It's not working with Cody. It's not. I truly believe, and I said this to Jack off air. I said Jack off. Um,
Ah,
I told Jack, Jack, never mind. I ain't gonna say it again. If Cody gets the belt, okay, at WrestleMania, he's gonna be the Ricky the Dragon Steamboat of heavyweight champions. He's not gonna hold it long. I don't think so because it's not gonna work. It truly. And where does Cody go after that? After he wins the belt, he just got here. He had what? How many matches? 3. He came here, got hurt. Where does he go from there? Okay, he didn't have a very good show at the Rumble. He came in number 27. He was fresh and he won. I mean, I think they're rushing this. He's going to come in, main event WrestleMania, and do whatever and win a belt. No, he's better to actually chase that belt the way his father did. Okay, so no, 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 no. It's too soon. If they put a strap around him, not at all. He needs to chase that belt. That's what he needs to do.
and
Okay,
he,
and
and he
Eric,
may. It's not a
yeah.
sure
See,
thing he's going to
it's
win the belt.
I couldn't. Eric comes in and says number 30. That's right, Eric. It's so uh,
It wasn't memorable.
unrememberable.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah,
memorable.
yeah. The women's match was so much better than the men's Royal Rumble. You know, so it was like it's like no, 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 and no, I just didn't remember that. Chris Hebert comes in. Jack, you want to read
Yeah,
Chris's?
Chris says fans definitely follow stories easily, but I agree we don't forget either. I still have no love for Bret Hart because I'll never forget. Why, Bret?
Oh,
Why, Bret?
yeah. Why, Brett? Why? Um, I'm just saying, it's like, no, let him chase the belt. If they give it to him, where does Cody go from there? Where?
Right,
It's gonna
right.
be
That's the
like,
thing. I mean, ultimately, where does he go either way? So if he wins the belt, what do we have? Him defending against Sami Zayn? Is that a marquee main event? I mean, what are we going to do with him? Will he fight Seth Rollins again? I think that's kind of used up. There's certainly ways that directions you could take it. Bronson Reed. There's a plenty of people who, again, speaking of rushing, not necessarily him, but there's plenty of guys he could fight. But are they main event caliber matches that will draw?
exactly. I mean, all right, they could put Cody up against Walter. Oh, excuse me, Gunther. Um,
Wow.
that
Oof.
would be oof, oof. Um, but where do you go? What do you do? There's nothing else to do with Cody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Eric, what I'm saying, he has his story. It's done.
Right.
What
So
do we do?
once he does it for Dusty, where does he go? They really have to get inventive with the storylines, but the fact that Triple H is still in charge of creative gives me hope that there is a possibility that could happen. I think we are going to see Brian Cage come to WWE, which, not that that's going to be the saving match, but I feel like there's a lot of potential for the landscape to continue changing. We do have a few people from NXT coming up that we've mentioned before who Cody's never fought. There are possibilities brewing, but I just don't know if Cody. I just don't feel like he is the WWE champion main event guy. I feel like he's an upper card guy.
Yeah, you are correct, but it's where do we go? It's just no. He is not. He is more a European champion than a heavyweight champion. Okay, just think about it. Dusty was Dusty. Okay, Dusty was heavyweight champion, yes, but what belt did he hold more? The television championship. I mean, come on. He always chased that heavyweight championship, whether it be Harley Race, whether it be Ric Flair. It's like, come on now. But once Cody does it, it's like, okay, what do we do now?
Bobby Lashley could have a good program with him. I mean, I think there's plenty of guys who could have good programs with them. I just don't know if it's the kind of thing you get excited about and say, "Ooh, I got to go see that main event."
Yep. Eric comes in with a great question. We can get to that right now.
Oh, okay, yeah. Eric says, "But is Sami Zayn heavyweight champion material?" Again, I don't think so. But okay.
And now, what's really cool is last night on Raw, Sammy answered that question for us. I don't know. That was his own thought. Now, Eric, wasn't it you? Couple episodes of Faces and Heels back, wasn't it you that said Sami Zayn equals money? The people do. I mean, I know last year we all laughed at the guy with the Jackass match and all the other crap that they had him doing. He paid his dues. They came back, paid more dues, and paid more dues doing stupid stuff. And yeah, the fans are behind him, Eric. I 100% agree with you. I was never a fan of the guy. Never. I used to make fun of his outfits, his ring gear. Jack will tell you. I used to think he looked like a reject Cuba guy, and I used to just make fun of Sammy. But over this past year or 9 months, I got respect for him. Mad respect for Sammy. And it's just, wow. Eric comes in. Yeah, it was him. But that doesn't mean champion. I get that. I do. I totally get what you're saying. But it's like I said again, wrestling fans are stupid. They put a belt on him. Just imagine the pop. It'll be like Sammy Mania, like Kofi Mania. It might not last long, but they'll get what they want.
Okay, so here's another thought. So let's say Sami Zayn beats Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber on Saturday. So then he defends against Cody Rhodes. I don't know about you, but I don't think that feels like a world title main event, especially not at WrestleMania.
True. Now Eric comes back in and says, if not them, who? That's the question. Who? Who do we have?
Well, both companies, WWE and AEW, are in kind of an odd moment right now where I don't know who that guy is. Even in AEW, MJF is going to go over Bryan Danielson in the Iron Man match coming up in March.
Mm-hmm.
So then after that, who are the top baby faces? I would say, and I think you'll probably agree with me, they need to do a more of a slow build, but Adam Cole would certainly be a guy who they could build for a mega main event against MJF, and it would be a draw. Outside of that, I'm not entirely sure who they think they're handing that to. I don't think it's Ricky Starks, and there's plenty of other guys who are amazing. Like, I think Kenny Omega could be that guy, but Kenny Omega is a trios guy now.
Yeah, and his ego's getting in the way from what I'm hearing. And people aren't happy with him. People aren't happy with him in the Bucks. I don't know. I don't know. And WWE right now they are stuck. Okay, they're turning Lashley into a heel, which I always liked. Okay, I always liked. We got to get rid of Lesnar. Just
Oh,
put him
please,
out to pasture.
please. Oh,
Okay. Um, I don't know. I don't know where to go. Anybody but Dom. Anybody but Dom, please. Even though I got respect for the kid, what they're doing with him, he is. I mean, his work is coming out fantastic. Let him still be with Finn because Finn is teaching this kid how to get over, and he's learning his craft from Finn. Finn is doing wonders with Priest and with Dominic. He
yes.
is. And the smartest thing Triple H ever did was getting Dominic away from his dad because he's no longer underneath the shadow and he's having fun learning his craft and learning to do what he had to do. Uh, Speaking of Dom's father, maybe Escobar against Cody. Give somebody else a shot.
Oh
It's
my
just
God,
like,
that'd be great.
oh my God, yes. Because you got to think about it. Way back when, who would have thought Bret Hart would have been the heavyweight champion?
Absolutely. Great point. And here's another thing that I find weird about Cody Rhodes. And I don't know about you, but I had a moment today where I was thinking about Elimination Chamber and talking about these matches with you and the listeners tonight. And then I realized Cody Rhodes isn't even on the Elimination Chamber card, and I didn't miss him.
Well, this is now, I was going to bring this up later. Now, Eric comes in and he has a great point. Jack, why don't you read that?
Eric says, do you think if he didn't get hurt, it could have been AJ Styles? It's not impossible.
Yes, 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 yes. And Chris Heber comes in and says he's no champion. I'm not sure if he means Sami Zayn or not, but Sami did have had gold before. He had gold before.
You know
Um,
the fight forever chant, like the fight forever chant to me, it has never been and never will be more applicable to anyone than it is with the t-shirt they made of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Those guys can fight forever and I'd love it. I've never gotten tired of a match in any point in their career, even when it was El Generico against Kevin Steen, all the way up until just recently on the last pay-per-view. They should fight forever. That's where Sami Zayn excels. Those two have unbeatable chemistry. I just don't. I love Sami Zayn. I mean, I've always really loved his work. I just don't see him, and much like Cody, like you said, I do not see him as much more than the Ricky Steamboat of the world title.
yeah, exactly. That's how I see it. So let's talk about the Elimination Chamber and a little bit about predictions. How I see something that could happen. Cody is not listed on the card anywhere. What if he just decides to show up? Because we know the Usos cannot go to Canada. They're not going to be at SmackDown.
No, that's not true. That's not true,
Oh,
actually.
they can't go to Canada now.
I believe
Yes,
that's been worked out. I read that's been worked
really.
out. I don't know if that's true. I'm just fan
Well,
perspective.
because last week on SmackDown, they Heyman they already laid it out where they're not going to be in Montreal. Heyman said, "You guys stay back, watch
Right.
it on TV because you got a better perspective watching on TV." So I thought the whole thing of the DWI stuff, they still cannot go, just like the whole thing with Crown Jewel. So
Right. My understanding is that was the case and they worked it out. So I think it might end up being a swerve where they do show up, but they have, you're correct, set it up with the anticipation they would not be allowed over the border. But again, I could be wrong. But what I read said that they had worked it out and they
okay,
actually do have the option, which could actually feed into the storyline.
all right. So say this. Say that they can't go, or say if they do go. Either way, say Cody gets involved, shows up, gets involved in a heavyweight match. It ends up being an upset screw job. and Sammy does win. First, imagine the pop local boy defeats the actual wrestling god. Okay, that would be a Road Warrior pop. That would be plain and simple. The roof is going to blow off that place. Okay, and I mean it would just be tremendous. Do you agree?
I do agree, and I think it's the only way for Cody Rhodes not to get booed if he has to fight Sami Zayn is if he helps him beat Roman Reigns.
Exactly. Exactly. Then WrestleMania ends up being it could be end up being a three-way dance for the belt.
Right? They love doing that, right?
I know. I know. It could be. And then Seth Rollins ends up being the champ because he beats both of them.
Yeah.
Because everyone is saying that it's going to be KO and Sammy against the Usos. I don't see that happening. I really don't, because that's what everyone is thinking about. Everyone, because you got to think, WrestleMania is going to be the end of this season of WWE, and then we start our new season. This is the season finale. I I really don't see this being KO and Sami Zayn as against the Usos. I don't see it being there. Eric comes. All right, hold on. Eric has double comments here.
Yeah. Eric says, I'm okay with Owens as champ, but they stop and go with him too. Okay. Eric also says, does Cody have a chance of being a champion as a full blown heel? I mean, there's a thought, right?
Yeah, there is a thought that, but would Cody make a good heel? I mean, he was a dick in AEW. It's possible. It is quite possible.
It's
Now, there's
awfully early
also
for that, though. You know, it seems too early.
well, they have to do something.
Yeah, no, you're
They
right. You're right.
definitely, yeah, they have to do something. Um, but I mean, he's not getting the reaction that they thought he would.
So what if
And
Sami Zayn goes over, upsets Roman Reigns? Now Sami Zayn's the face. Cody Rhodes goes full blown heel, and it's Sami Zayn as the face against heel Cody. But then what do we do with Roman Reigns?
he goes on vacation. That's
Well, he's going on a permanent vacation from WWE at the end of the summer, from what I understand. So I don't know
yeah. Well,
about that.
it's like, well, you got to look at. Well, okay. Let's look at it this way. SummerSlam's going to be in Detroit. Everything started with the bloodline and everything in Detroit. Maybe it's all going to end in Detroit.
Right.
That's a possibility that no one has been thinking about. I've been sitting here thinking about, I've been laying this all out in my head. I've been trying to think about this. It could all come to a head in Detroit. Okay, we can go past WrestleMania. Okay, go past the season, and all of a sudden just stop at SummerSlam. Boom, there we go. SummerSlam done. That's where everything implodes for the bloodline.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it could happen. I feel like
Detroit could be the key.
it could, but I mean, the storylines are so fragile at this point, and who knows what's going to happen between injuries and new guys coming up and being rehired and fired and going away. Anything's possible, I suppose.
All right, here's another thing. Now let's read Eric's comment.
Eric says, just keep it on San Martino. I mean, Reigns.
All right, here's another. We completely forgot somebody. One of my favorites. How about Cross?
I don't know. He just seems so sterile in WWE right now. I mean, he's good. I like him a lot. But I just like, is he really a world title contender in anybody's mind right now? I'd like to see him against Gunther.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I think Cross could be a world title contender. I think Cross and Cody I think they could work a good program.
Yeah,
They could do a great skit together. I really think they could.
that's true.
And
Yep, that's a good point.
perfect matchup right there.
But here's the
Okay.
thing: are people going to get behind Cody, which I think is ultimately the
No,
crux of all
I
this?
don't think so. I don't think so. I think they will be more behind Cross than they would be with Cody. I think Eric says meh. I think Cross will have more people behind him than Cody. Plain and simple. And Sheamus can go for a run against Cody. But I think more people will be behind Sheamus than they would be behind Cody.
What
There's
about your
so
boy
many
Drew?
different people. Yeah, Drew. Come on. You know
I'm
how
just
many
saying, you
people?
haven't mentioned him.
Because I don't want to be biased. I do not. I don't want to be biased. How many people would be behind Drew over Cody? Come on.
Right. I mean, I'm just throwing out dynamics because I can't imagine cheering Cody over Drew.
I know. It's just like no. I mean Rollins over Drew. Rollins. Oh, excuse me. Rollins over Cody. You know the crowd was cheering Rollins over Cody more. It's like, come on now.
Yeah, this is a challenging situation for sure, and really
Yes.
interesting to talk about, which is why we're talking about it so much tonight. Whether you love
Yeah.
him or hate him, it's an interesting scenario. Chris
Yeah.
Ebert says, "Love watching Drew." Yeah,
Yeah.
Lewis
Everybody
will agree
does.
with you.
Yeah. No. Everybody does. I mean, they still call him the chosen one. They still he is just fantastic to watch in the ring. The guy is poetry in motion. He knows what he's doing. He's a rocket. He is a locker room leader. He is definitely a ring general, and talent goes to him for advice. And he never ever turns away from a fan. That's what it's all about. It doesn't matter what age you are, he's always there for a fan. You hear it on the news, you hear it everywhere. Eric says as long as Rollins doesn't wear those boots.
Yeah, those are something, huh? Like Mega Man.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Here's another thought, like the Street Profits. Now, here's two guys who I really like, and I've seen them at live shows coming up as a tag team. And on Monday Night Raw, I really looked at them a little differently and started thinking seriously, would they be better as singles guys? And I really never truly considered it until last night. The change in their physiques, I think that they could very well set that up. Montez Ford, of course, is in the Elimination Chamber match. What do you
I
think about that?
I think if the Street Profits break up, you're looking at the new Janetti Shawn Michaels. Ford is going to be your new Shawn Michaels, and the other guy, I forgot his name already.
Oh, you forgot Dawkins' name?
There you go. There you go.
Oh,
There you go.
man.
I'm sorry. I'm just preparing everybody. I am preparing everybody. You can sit there and say all you want, okay? Dawkins is the new Marty Jannetty. Everyone is going to be remembering Montez Ford because Angelo Dawkins is going to go away. He will be the new Marty Jannetty.
Oh,
I'm
man, he's
sorry.
put in so much work to I really
I
like what he's
know,
doing.
I know, but think about it. Everyone originally thought Marty Jannetty is going to be the breakout star of the Rockers. Oh, he's going to be the breakout star. Blah, 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 blah. No, look
Woo.
what happened.
Oh, boy,
Look what
look what
happened.
happened.
Yeah, exactly. No, Marty, no, go away. You need to go away. Stop drinking. Stop talking about murdering people, and stop talking about being molested by the guy you murdered. No, you need to go away, man. You need to go away. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what happened. So if they break up the Street Profits, okay, Montez Ford, the new Shawn Michaels, plain and simple. I see great things from him if he goes on a single run.
So do you
He's
see that
he.
happening? Do you see that this is
Yes, I
set
do.
up for that? Yeah.
I do totally.
Okay.
I totally do. But the other dude, I forget his name already. Janetti, what was his name? No.
Angelo Dawkins.
Oh,
Um,
Dawkins, that's his name. I forget. What car wash is he working at, or is it Burger King? I
Oh
can't remember.
man, that's rough.
Oh,
That's
but
rough.
that's what's gonna happen. That is what's gonna happen. I'm
Okay,
telling you.
so having said that, let's just talk about your prediction and hopefully some listeners' predictions, because Montez Ford is in the Elimination Chamber match
Yes.
against Austin Theory, who's defending the U.S. title in the Elimination Chamber. So it's him defending, excuse me, against Montez Ford, Seth Rollins, Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, and Damian Priest, which to me is an unbelievable match. Like, I'm
Oh, that,
interested
that
in
match is
everybody.
stacked. All right, that match is stacked, and it is going to be a banger. If Montez Ford wins, if he should pull it off, that they put the strap on him. If he wins, just imagine how much of an upset that's going to be. Okay? Now, I am not a Theory fan. I don't like the guy. I did not like him in NXT when he was a part of the way. Though, right now, I would like to see Gargano or Rollins win. Plain and simple. Gargano would be the pick. Bronson, I've always been a Bronson Reed fan. I think that he would destroy everybody in there. Priest, he already had his. They're doing something with him, especially with Judgment Day. He already had the U.S. belt. I can see him trying to pull it off, but I think it's time for Ford, Gargano, or Bronson. The new blood, it's time for the new blood. I think it's going to be 100% one of those three people. But I think Montez Ford, that would be a surprise that would just blow everyone out of the water. They'll be like, you really what? He won? And it would be just amazing if they did that. Eric comes in with more
Yeah, Eric says
comments.
Bronson is going to destroy someone. He's echoing your sentiments. You guys agree on that. And Eric also is anticipating a splash off a pod. It seems inevitable, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
But so what does
Definitely.
this leave Theory if he
I
loses to Montez Ford? So what does Theory do now? They put so much stock into him. Supposedly he's fighting John Cena at WrestleMania. Is that where we go?
yeah, probably. Probably. He's already calling out Cena by using catchphrases and making fun of catchphrases. Good. Let him go see Cena, do whatever, because Theory is another one that needs to go away.
Oh,
Um, seriously.
dude, they put so much stock in that guy. I don't think he's going
No, who
anywhere.
did? Wait a minute. Who
Vince and
did?
Triple H. Vince especially built that guy up to be the next prototype, John Cena.
Yeah, Vince did it. And now think about this. When Vince finally retired, everyone, they gave that boy a blanket party.
He's a champion
Everyone
right now.
everyone beat his ass. And remember Roman? Daddy ain't here no more. They beat his ass. Drew lit that boy's chest up. He wasn't winning crap.
He's a pretty
He got, I mean,
showcase performer right now, though.
oh, yeah, well, Vince is back, and Vince probably called Triple H and said, hey, can you do me a favor? I really like that guy. He kissed my butt pretty good. Are you sure, Dad? I can do it for you. Yeah, that's all it was.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll see. We'll see. I like Montez Ford winning it. I like Bronson Reed winning it. I just don't know. What do you do with Austin Theory? And maybe it's just good enough that he has a program or a match with John Cena, and then they sort of start him fresh on the Raw after Mania.
Yeah, that's what they need to do. That's what they really need to do. I mean, he he need to go away. Send
So,
him back to
so
NXT.
do we care about the Elimination Chamber for the women? My feeling is Asuka will be the winner of
Oh
that.
yes, yeah, for sure,
So we got
for sure.
Raquel Rodriguez versus Liv Morgan versus Nikki Cross versus Asuka versus Natalia versus Carmella.
Okay,
Asuka,
well,
right?
think about it. The only two logical choices is Asuka and Raquel.
Right.
That's it.
Agreed. Agreed.
That's the only two logical choices, and everyone is agreeing Asuka 100%.
Well, I feel
We all
better
know,
that Eric agrees with us. Okay.
yeah, Asuka 100, and her going back to her old gimmick. People love it. And yeah, Asuka 100%.
Okay, so that's easy. I think we all agree on that so far. If anyone else has any other thoughts, do chime in. We got a match I really couldn't care any less about is Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. I love
I
Finn
think
Balor
this
and
is
Rhea Ripley, but I don't know about this match.
okay. I gonna say Finn Balor and Rhea only because Rhea is going into WrestleMania to face Charlotte. She's gonna walk out the champ. They would not have had Rhea go in number one and win the Rumble just to lose to the Road Warrior couple. Now, I don't mean the Road Warrior couple as in Hawk and Animal. I mean as the movies,
Gotcha.
okay?
Gotcha.
Because Beth looked like she done walked off the set. Okay, and we all know Edge looked like a drunk uncle. Where you sit there? And even my boys
Jesus.
say that to Edge because they're getting tired of him. And he's like worse than Roman Reigns when it comes to working. All right, he only shows up when he's like sober or something. Roman just shows up when he wants to. He's part time, but Edge, no. And it's just they're not going to do that to Rhea. They're not. I'm going to say Rhea pins Beth for the win.
I hope so. I hope you're right, because I'm guessing Charlotte will make some sort of an appearance, being that she's not on the card yet either, and I don't anticipate that she will be. I don't know about you. Do you think there's going to be another match? My thought was they're going to do a tag match with what do they call it? Bailey's group there?
Oh, Damage Control.
Damage Control.
Maybe Charlotte will come out, have Rhea get pinned by Beth. That would be a good scenario. That way, Rhea and Charlotte get some more heat.
I agree, and I think this pay-per-view has some potential to showcase more women than men's matches overall, or at least 50-50, which is kind of interesting if they do end up booking another women's match.
That will be good too. But you got to look at it this way. I mean, the women right now are on par with the guys. Okay, with the men, they are like 100%. Rhea can tear the house down. She's capable of having a banger. All right. Anytime she's in the ring, if she has the right partner, I mean, the crowd at Raw last night was chanting her name. They wanted her there. Asuka, as we know, can have a banger anytime she wants. Okay, Candice LeRae, a little bit of ring rust still from having the baby, but still a banger. Okay, we got to get Indy up here, a banger. I mean, wow.
Chelsea Green, who right now is kind of like the Kurt Hawkins of the women's division, but she's awesome. I'd love to see her in some serious matches. Eric Hunting says, all I got to say is keep Rousey away from championship at Mania. Please, please.
Well,
please.
all right. It's just that she's green. She is so green. They just rushed this woman into her spot. She has no reason to be in the spot. No reason whatsoever. She should have been in the Indies. She should have been in the Grange Halls. She should have been in the church gyms. But they didn't do that. She should have been in NXT instead of the main stage. But they didn't do that. Why? Because Vince was like, oh, no, we got to put her over here. No, she didn't have time to learn the craft. She didn't have time to learn the business. She didn't have time to learn to work the crowd. She didn't have time to do anything. Especially learning her personality is cardboard, because you have to learn to take your personality and bump it up to 1,000. Jack, I'm trying to do that with you. She doesn't have any of that. No, I'm serious. How many times have I told you that? You
You
know,
told me that.
she doesn't have any of that. She doesn't have that pizzazz. She doesn't have that charisma. Okay, so it's like when she's in the ring, she is one dimensional, and it's just boring. I mean it. She is just boring. Ricky Steamboat was the same way. If you really sit down to think about it, he was the same way.
Oh, yeah. He was just the white meat baby face that, was like, oh, I love my wife and my baby, and I'm a good guy.
Yeah,
I like
carry the
I like the
baby.
people.
Yeah, and no, what Rhonda, she never had time to learn. Okay, Piper worked with her. Somebody else worked with her. Okay, she's ready. Have fun storming the castle. No, she should have. She should have been working NXT. She should have been in the Indies. She should have been doing so much stuff to learn instead of just going, fly, be free. No.
Yeah.
She shouldn't have done that.
Her gear
Think
didn't
about
even fit.
I know. I know. It still doesn't. Is it because of her ego or because it's 3 sizes too small? I don't know.
Who could say?
Yeah. But I mean, really think about it. No, you don't. Too much, too soon. She was rushed. Plain and simple.
Agreed. So we still don't have tons of time left, but I quickly wanted to mention that we've got 3 nights in a row of killer wrestling action happening in the Northeast. So if you're not
Three,
in the Northeast,
what?
3 nights.
Three
So
nights.
Friday night, the 24th, is Pro Wrestling Grind. Saturday, the 25th, is Blitzkrieg Pro. Sunday, at the world famous White Eagle, is Beyond Wrestling, and Zack Sabre
Wait a
Jr.
minute.
is
Wait a
going to
minute.
be there.
What's beyond? What's beyond wrestling? I don't understand what's beyond wrestling.
It's like the next step, but they're going to reveal it to you on Sunday. So you got to show up at the world famous White Eagle, and you'll find out what's beyond pro wrestling.
So it's beyond. It's like pro
Just past
wrestling,
it.
and then
Just past it. Take a
just
left.
is it near parts unknown?
It's by parts unknown. You go down Jabroni Drive, take a sharp left.
It's to the left, right? It's to the left of parts
Take a
unknown.
left.
Okay,
Take a
all right. I know where it is. Okay.
All right, you. But we got some killer matches lined up because Pro Wrestling Grind, we got the rabid honey badger Ryan Mooney is
I
going.
know him.
Yeah, me too. He's going up against number 1 Ichiban.
I know him too.
Yeah, and here, this could be a main event show stealer. We got main event. Get it? See what I did there? Main
I know
event
them.
versus Mike Skyros
I know him.
and Travis Huckabee.
I know him.
Right. So that's a killer match. Like I am so bummed out that I have a 3-year delayed vacation. The only 1 week I have booked, I'm missing all 3 of these shows.
You suck.
Hey, I'll be getting some semblance of a tan.
Uh-oh. It is time for old school trivia. Jack, are you ready? This week's old school trivia is brought to you by Alternate Universe LLC in Milford and New Haven. Make sure you stop by tomorrow. It's Free Comic Book Day tomorrow. Make sure you stop by, see Eric and the gang, and tell them that the Angry Geeks Network, Angry Geek Show, and Faces and Heels podcast sent you down. Pick up some of your free comic books, comic book supplies. They got a bunch of toys in the back in Milford. Just make sure you go there and tell them that you've seen them on Faces and Heels podcast, and they are Angry Geeks approved.
Tell them you saw them on the Faces and Heels podcast. And wait a minute, it's New Comic Book Day and Free Comic Book Day there?
No, it's New Comic Book Day, Jack.
You keep saying Free Comic Book Day.
Because Free Comic Book Day is in May.
Right. But not Wednesday. Yeah. We don't want to confuse people. It's not this Wednesday. It's in
not
May.
This Wednesday. It's in May. First Saturday in May.
Well, you told people Free Comic Book Day was tomorrow.
No, I did not. Maybe I did. I don't know. I'm excited.
It's New
Jack,
Comic
are you
Book
ready
Day.
for this? Are you ready for this week?
Yeah, Louis, your favorite part. I'm ready to lose again. What's the question?
How long was the Honky Tonk Man Intercontinental Champion? 669 days. 454 days, 823 days, or 576 days. How many days? How many days was the Honky Tonk Man? No Googling, anyone?
No Googling.
How many days was the Honky Tonk Man Intercontinental Champion?
I think
660.
I think Eric may be right because I think it was about a 2-year reign. I was there the night he lost it at MSG to the Ultimate Warrior in about 30 seconds. Uh, I got 669 doesn't seem like the right number, but I think it was about 2 years, and that's the closest to that. I'm gonna go with 669, but my gut tells me it might have been 576. But let's just say 669 because Eric's always right.
You are both wrong. It is 454. It's the Honky Tonk Man did lose SummerSlam 88 to 3 seconds to the Ultimate Warrior, and he is the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. Who held it next to the Honky Tonk Man was Randy Savage at 453 days.
Wow, is that accurate? Really? It was a 1 day
Yes, it
difference?
is. It is a
Wow.
1 day difference.
That's
Yes.
amazing. Jeez, I didn't know that.
Yes. Jack, why do you suck so bad at trivia?
I know. I just this kind of minutia escapes me. I just don't dedicate it to memory.
Wow.
Neither
Wow.
does Eric. All right, Eric gets everything right. He didn't know that.
Yeah, Eric just thought 669 because it's Valentine's Day.
Oh, I see what you did there, you devil, you.
Yeah, that's all. Hey, Eric, baby.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's all, Eric. And then he says poop right afterwards. Look at that.
Hey,
Yes.
I don't blame the
All right,
guy.
so let's talk about Mox, man. Let's talk about Mox really quick. I mean, we only got short amount of time left, and I want to talk about Mox. What happened? I mean, was it the cameraman's fault? Or was it just Mox being sloppy? For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, Mox was caught live on television blading himself. Okay, and a wrestling term for those of you listening or are new to the podcast and new to the world of professional wrestling. Blading is when you make yourself bleed. Jack, did you see the footage? Did you see what Mox did?
Yeah.
Um, and he's sober now. I mean, this wasn't Captain Lou Albano doing it at Madison Square Garden against Jimmy Snuka and Buddy Rogers.
Yeah.
This was, I mean, we all know about that night when Lou was in the corner doing it. You know, I mean, this was what the hell, Mox? I mean, what are your thoughts on this? And our listeners and viewers, please chime in if you know what we're talking about. It's like, are you trying to get fired, or was it the cameraman? Like, oh, was I supposed to record that? What what happened?
Well, you know what they say, practice makes progress, and I guess Mox just needs more practice at Oh wait, no, he does it almost every week. That's not
Yeah,
it.
I mean, you got to think about it. 2 minutes into a match, Mox gets hit. He's bleeding. Okay, that's the scar tissue. But uh, what the hell happened?
I mean, mistakes happen. I don't know, man. I think that what we see still with AEW, even though they're a few years old, are continued growing pains. I mean, WWE, we forget it's been here for 1,000 years, but AEW is still getting it together. Maybe their camera crew isn't steady. You know, who knows? There's a lot that goes into it. And it's like any relationship. I think everyone's probably playing a little bit of a part in it. So maybe it just happened. You know, it's just bad circumstances. I don't know. It's hard for me to feel like I have harsh feelings about it, but it wasn't great.
Well, it's not that I have harsh feelings about it. I'm surprised that Mox got caught. Okay, and I'm surprised that he let himself get caught. And so I don't know. It's just, of all people, Mox. It's like it's one of those things where, like, what, you know,
Yeah.
it's just surprising.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. But who knows? Maybe he was tired. I mean, there's any multitude of things that could have gone on. So I guess we move on, right? I would love to see Mox take a little break from bleeding every week. It just does feel sort of rote, you know?
Maybe he suffered from loss of blood.
Yeah, I don't know. He does a lot of indie shows too. Who knows? Maybe he did have too much blood loss that week. I don't know. I mean, the guy's pretty masterful about it. So everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah, I know, but it's like everyone is blaming Mox. I mean, the internet is going, "Oh, Mox got caught." Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, well, was it Mox or was it the cameraman that missed his cue? If you really think about it, there was a time, with like Sean, the Royal Rumble, and the whole feet thing, and Luger and Brett falling over the top rope. The cameraman was like, I wasn't supposed to be here. Or the director, hey, that camera wasn't supposed to be on. Maybe that's what happened. You know? We seen Bray Wyatt as the Fiend. We seen him run to the back during the Thunderdome eras. You seen him running. I'm like, the cameraman was out of position. We seen like that happen before because the cameraman, you know, maybe that's what it was. But this was really bad. This was a bad mistake.
Yeah,
Very bad mistake.
Yeah, you know, Chris Jericho falling off that cage was a pretty rough one too. So AEW,
I forgot all about that. Oh my God, I did. I forgot all about that.
they're gonna have some growing pains. They're gonna have some
Yes.
growing pains. We want to also quickly wish Andy Brown good luck on defending the Bedlam title at Blitzkrieg against Alley Catch, which is going to be a match that all of you should go see if you're in the Northeast. That alone is worth it for the main event. So that's happening at Blitzkrieg on the 25th. But we've only got a few minutes left. So let me just say, if you're looking for any artwork, you know, tax returns are going to be happening soon. Patreon.com. I've got a little presence over there. If you search for me, I'm Jack Purcell, Inc. INK. On social media, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook. Just hit me up if you're looking for some art. Lewis.
But not. We're going to be gone for the couple weeks because Jack is going to be on vacation. But that doesn't mean I ain't going to be online, because you can find me each and every Monday night with that Wonder Woman Jamie Dolan and Quinderella live streaming on the Angry Geek Show. And you can find this episode wherever your podcasts are found. Famous, you know, where are your favorite podcasts? You just look up Faces and Heel. You look up Angry Geek Show Network. Oh, Faces and Heel. I want to listen to some wrestling. Click on that button. You can listen to wrestling. And you can hear my voice. You can hear Jack's voice. Or if you want to listen about comic books and pop culture and all that, look up Angry Geeks. Click on that. You can hear me. You can hear Jamie. You can hear Emily. You can hear us talk about that with all kinds of guests. Or you can just click on your Roku device, go to that Pod TV app, click, and you can find all 5 of us there. Not too hard to find. Go to the angrygeeksshow.com. We're there. With a link to Jack's artwork. We're there. We're everywhere on the internet. I am Louis Perry. That is Jack Purcell. We're going to be on hiatus until Jack comes off of vacation. But like I said, you can find me each and every Monday night at this very special place. You have been watching The Angry Geek Show on Pod TV. Visit our website today. And for guest bookings, email us at theangrygeekshow@gmail.com today.